Greetings, dear student. You are welcome to Honex Success Call. Honex Success Call is simply a program that is brought by a group of teachers, both for ordinary level and advanced level, to give you all the A grades that you desire to have in the GCE. And I am your host, Mr. Destin Emmanuel, your A-level examiner. Dear student, today we are going to treat a very important topic that is always a challenge to many of you at the level of ordinary level mathematics. And what is this topic? The topic is Euclidean geometry. Another word for it is called plane geometry. Okay, right away, what is plane geometry? Plane geometry is simply the mathematical study of geometric figures whose parts lie in the same plane. Geometric figures like what? Like polygons, you have circles, you have lines that lie in the same plane. What is a plane? A plane is simply any flat surface that extends infinitely in all directions. A plane can either be vertical or it can be horizontal. So when you have any geometric figure that lies in the same plane, that all the parts lie in the same plane, then it means you are dealing with plane geometry. Okay, right away, as a foundation or the fundamentals concerning the Euclidean geometry or plane geometry, we are looking at the circle theorem or the circle theorem. And with that, I want us to look at this basic diagram that will help us to understand the theorems of a circle or the rules that help us to solve problems involving circles. You know, it's a very fertile topic at ordinary level mathematics. Okay, looking at this diagram as you see on the board, it is a circle that has been drawn with the different parts of this circle labeled, and we are going to look at this diagram step by step and define these different parts that are labeled so that we will understand and know when a question is asked. With this knowledge of the basic parts of this topic, we'll be able to apply it to solve that question. Okay, right away, the first important point that we have to note here that we'll begin with is number one. I want us to begin with the definition of a chord. What is a chord in the context of a circle? A chord is simply a line whose endpoints they lie on the circular arc. Let me come again. A chord is simply a line segment whose endpoints they lie on a circular arc like this. Okay, for example, P here is a chord. You see, it is a straight line that the ends of this straight line they lie on a circular arc. This is an arc here, a circular arc. Okay, so take note of that very important term in plane geometry. Okay, so we can say a chord is a line segment whose ends lie on a circular arc and lie on a circular arc. e.g. on this diagram here, a chord here is P. P cure is a chord. P cure is a chord. Okay, yes. So the next important term in Euclidean geometry or plane geometry that I want us to define is an arc. What is an arc? Is also a very important term to know. An arc, looking at the diagram very well, an arc is simply what? Is simply that part of the circumference of a circle between a pair of distinct points. Let me come again. An arc is simply that part of the circumference of a circle between a pair of distinct points. Let me put it on the board. This is what it says. It is the part. It is the part of the circumference. It is the part of the circumference of a circle. Yes, it is a part of the circumference of a circle between a pair of distinct points. A pair of distinct points with an S, e.g. an arc line here is AD. AD here is an arc. So we move ahead. Another important term that we need to know as far as the basics on treating the circle theorem is concerned is a segment. A segment, you can see it labeled here, a segment. Okay, what is a segment? A segment is that part of the circle. It is that part of the circle that is enclosed by a chord and an outline. A segment is that part of the circle that is enclosed by a chord and what? And an outline. Segment. A segment. What is a segment? It is the part. It is the part. Is the part of a circle. The part of a circle enclosed by a chord. By a chord and an act of the circle closed by a chord and an act of the circle. Okay, we'll move ahead with the other ones.